Hey, it's Benito. All right.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, good. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to see you. So for those watching, please stick around. Thank you for being here. You're about to meet my friend Benito. Simon joining us?
No, Simon got a little bit stuck up at work, so it's just me this afternoon,
Okay.
but super excited to be here.
All right. So for those of you watching, I want to let you know I got a chance to talk to Benito earlier this month as part of some of Games with Kids content on Foster Care Awareness Month. And I was so taken by his story that I asked him to come back. And like I said, I can't think of a better way to close out National Foster Care Awareness Month than by talking to you, Benito. So thank you so much for joining us. Do you mind sharing some of the stuff that you shared at our webinar? Tell everyone a little bit about your family and your story in foster care awareness.
Yeah, sure. So my husband and I started our journey to become fathers about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago during the pandemic. And so we looked at a whole bunch of different options, from foster care to private adoption to surrogacy. And then we sort of circled back again through all of those options, trying to really figure out what was the best path for us. Thank you to Gaze with Kids for all of your amazing resources that you have, because you were a big resource for us whenever we were trying to pick our ultimate journey. And ultimately, the path that we decided to take was foster to adopt. And so about a year ago, we joined our agency, Extraordinary Families in LA. We went through the process to be trained through our Pride classes, took some additional classes through Foster Parent College. And here we are, a year in it. It's been an amazing experience. We have had 3 kiddos in our home. The first little boy that we got was 6 months old when we got him, and he was with us for about 7 months. He eventually reunified with his mom, which is an amazing outcome for the 2 of them and for him. A little bit of a heartbreak for us, because once these kids come into your home, and I know I said these words, you bond with them instantly. And so ultimately the goal in foster care is for kiddos to reunify with their family. And that's what occurred with our first child. We still keep in contact with them. We were actually here in Long Beach with them at Beach Streets and kind of a Pride festival. So we had a really good time with him, and we're able to still be in his life, which we're very happy for. And then after that, we took a little bit of a break because it was sort of a heartache for us. And we traveled and kind of recentered and refocused ourselves to what we wanted to do, which was ultimately welcome more kids into our house. And so we welcomed 2 little boys into our home, a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old. And they were with us for about a month, and they went to go live with a cousin of theirs. And so it was just a very brief, short period of time, but we are happy that we were able to provide them with a safe and secure home during that time. And now we are back on the list awaiting more kiddos.
Okay, that's just wild and intense. So you mentioned something, but I just want to make it clear to everyone that's watching. So the whole point of foster care and the foster system is that the kids or the child or the baby they get put into the system are reunited with their birth family members. And that could be parents, grandparents, uncles, cousins twice removed, right? And so I love, Benito, how you talked about how you said it with pride that the kiddo was reunited with birth family members, and that is great, because that is ultimately what's supposed to be happening. But I really love the way you guys just, and then also just your thoughts about a little bit more about, because it certainly hurts nonetheless, right? Even though that's the right thing, it still hurts you. So can you talk a little bit more about how you get through that and what you do and how you get ready for the next kids or kiddos to come your way?
Yeah, you know, it hurt. Actually, it's funny, when we were going through the process, I thought I was a little bit more prepared than Simon was, knowing that reunification is the ultimate goal. But I think I took it actually a little bit harder than he did. Not to say that that he took it any less, but maybe I expressed my emotions with the loss a little bit more than he did. And we almost went through, sort of a grieving process. We were sad. We were sad that he went back home with his mom, but at the same time, we were happy because, again, that is the goal. And throughout the journey, we were monitoring visits and with him and his mom and dad during that whole experience. And to see both of them progress and grow and, bond with each other was amazing. But when he left, somebody, is ultimately going to be heartbroken. And that was us in this case. And so we took some time for ourselves. Again, like I said, we traveled. We had a lot of in-depth, really heart-to-heart conversations, and also participated in some support groups that both our agency was able to facilitate, but also through other peers with our agency who ultimately validated our feelings, which made us feel like we weren't the only ones that are out there going through this. I mean, there are tons of amazing foster parents out there, and a lot of the kiddos do reunify with their parents. So other people are going through the same loss and heartache that we went through, but we were able to move past that, knowing that we were doing a good deed. And our goal is to adopt through foster care. And so we jumped right in it after a short period of time.
That's amazing. So let's just talk about that for a second. So there are about 400,000 kids in the foster care system at any given time. As we mentioned earlier, the goal is reunification with some family member, but there are those that are in the system for whom that's not going to be possible. There's no family member for them to be reunified with. And those kids, we say, are freed up for adoption or ready to be adopted by a forever family. Typically, it's around 25% of the total number of kids in the system, meaning there's over 100,000. I think, Benito, the number is closer to 125,000, as I recall. So 125,000 kids in the foster care system who are looking for forever families of their own. So you just said that's your ultimate goal. So tell us how that works and what conversations you have with your agency around that.
Yeah, so when you go through the process to be certified to be foster parents, you can select the age range, the sex, the ethnicity of the children that you want into your home. But being as open as possible will ultimately give you the most calls and allow you to ultimately help as many children that come into the foster care system. And so Simon and I, knowing that we ultimately want to adopt, we're open to both boys and girls, and we're open from infants all the way up to 3 years. But you made a really good point, Brian, because older children are disproportionately affected in the foster care system. And it's not to say that there are not loving resource families who are open to older kids, but most families will elect to choose the younger kiddos. And so there are tons of kids out there who need support from foster families. So if you're interested, reach out to a local agency in your area and gather some resources and join to help these kids in needs. My husband and I, we have talked about the possibility of opening our home to older kids, knowing that typically they stay in the system longer or they age out of the system, and usually they need a little bit more support. But we're holding tight to 0 to 3 for the time being and hoping we'll get a call real soon.
And are you waiting for kids who are free for adoption, or are you still open to any kiddos between those ages and see what happens from there?
Yeah, open to any kiddos between those ages and see what happens there. You never know where the case is going to go. So we don't want to miss an opportunity who's the right fit for us. If they're new into the foster care system, or for those kiddos maybe who have been in the foster care system for a while. So we're open to pretty much anything that comes down our path, knowing that the right kiddo is going to come at the right time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing I want to mention, you start to talk about older kids who do not fare as well, those who age out. There are all kinds of statistics about what their lives are like, and I can tell you it's not positive at all. And the real sad part of this is those kids who are LGBTQ plus, especially gender binary kids of color, they really fear the worst. So if you have it within your hearts to think about adopting an older kid, especially an LGBTQ plus kid, please, I encourage you, as Benito said, to get a hold of your local agency. By the way, you can also get a hold of me and GWK Academy, and we can connect you with a local agency. So if you're a quick commercial interruption, if you don't already know about GWK Academy, that's our platform to help you become a dad. So you can download it for free on the web, GWK Academy, or you can go to gwkacademy.com and go right. You can download it for free as an app, is what I meant to say, or you can go to gwkacademy.com and get access to it from our website. And so, Benito, tell us a little bit more about your experience with the youngest. What's the youngest kid you have? You said 3?
6 months was our first little kiddo.
That, like, because that's a baby. Like, how was your experience? Did you have any? Do you guys have nieces and nephews? Do you have close friends with babies? How prepared were you for that?
Yeah, I have 2 nephews. They're older now, 17 and 18. And, obviously when they were little kiddos, I was much younger than I am now. But as you go through the training, you're provided with all of these resources to teach you how to be amazing, loving, and caring parents. I have technically never really changed the baby's diaper or figured out how to make a bottle or what to feed him. And so the internet is an amazing tool to teach you all of the things that maybe you don't necessarily learn as you're going through your classes. But it's funny how, I guess, instincts kick in, and we knew what to do at the right time, when to do it, really juggling and bouncing off caring for a little one with each other. Some nights my husband would wake up to feed and change a diaper. Other nights I would wake up and feed to change a diaper. Sleep is really important, something that we realized probably 3 or 4 days in that we weren't quite sleeping as much as we should have or eating as well as we should have. So my mom came in to really support us around the house with doing dishes and washing clothes and different things like that. So that helped. So we could get into a routine and really figure out what was good for our little one and for ourselves. That's
great. I'll tell you, my husband and I created our family through a combination of adoption and surrogacy. And Levi, our oldest, he came to us with only a couple of days' notice. We found out about him after he was born, and we brought him home from the hospital 2 days later. And neither of our families were around, and we had no idea how to do anything. So, if you do foster care, you can go and find resources. And back when we became, there was nothing on the internet. Like, I don't even remember if there was. There barely was an internet for us. That's awesome. What words of encouragement do you have, Benito, for those who are considering foster adopt? And what do you want to say to those people? Yeah, there are over 400,000 kids, as you said, that are in the system at any given time. And there are not enough families to care for all of these kiddos. So if you're interested in building your family and foster to adopt is an option that you're looking at, I would say go for it. It is probably one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever done in my life. Probably one of the most humbling experiences too. Knowing that we are opening our home to these kiddos who may not be in the best of situations or may not be as fortunate as a lot of us. And a lot of these kiddos need a safe and welcoming family that are there to care for them, whether it's for a lifetime or just for a brief period of time. Any time that you are able to give to care for a kiddo and give them a safe and secure environment is worth it. So if you're interested, again, look for your local agencies, reach out to Gays with Kids to get some additional resources and support, and open your heart and your home to a kiddo who is ready to join your family. Thank you. That's great. And I want to give a shout out to Extraordinary Families, whom you mentioned is your agency. They're located in the LA area. Extraordinary Families is one of we have an exclusive network of family building partners across foster, adoption, and surrogacy and IVF. And Extraordinary Families is one of those. And they're, what do we call them? The OG members. They're a part of our original gang, and we love them. In fact, they taught me a lot about what I know about the foster care system, along with a couple of our other OG members. So they're a wonderful organization. So if you do live in the LA area, should definitely get a hold of them. Can people follow you if they want to just continue to follow your fostering adventures, Benito? Follow you online here.
Yeah, follow us online. Unfortunately, we can't share that many pictures of the kiddos that join our family. But hopefully one day when we get the right kiddo at the right time, we will be happy to share all of our pictures and share more of our experience that we kind of went through with the foster care system. We're on the list. We're waiting. So fingers crossed that kiddos will come back to our home real soon.
Yeah, right. So much. It's great to see you again. And again, you and Simon, you guys are doing just awesome work. You're a great inspiration to me and everyone who's watching. So thank you. It's great to see you again. Sammy Gonzalez, if you're interested in knowing more agency names, just send an email to dads@gateswithkids.com. So again, if you're interested in becoming a dad, if you're watching this, you know, already know about GWK Academy, I'd love to chat with you about helping you become a dad, whatever path to fatherhood is best for your family. So again, Benito, thank you so much. Great to see you. Wish you well. Thank you all. And remember, May is Foster Care Awareness Month. So if you're not interested in fostering, you can always give to any of the wonderful organizations that are helping these kids. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.